Having lost everything near to him, Tommy stood at the top of a perilous dirt pillar. His president, gone. His country, exiled. His best friend, betrayed. Worst of all, his masterpiece would never see the light of day, burned by a ghost who thought being dead meant he was immune to fire. Mourning the loss of his timeless novel, How to Sex 2, and its incomplete successor, How to Sex 3, Tommy envisioned the past, searching desperately for fond memories. But it seems as if those memories were tainted, each of them stripped from him the moment his former best friend uttered the words, "Escort this man out of L'Manberg, now." The nation he died for. 2 canon lives. Cat. Melohai. Gone. If there were no happy memories back then, perhaps there were some more recently. But only one event rang in his head. His beach party. Everyone got an invitation, yet the only one that showed up was Dream. A man Tommy now realized was the puppet master behind it all. Escape was the only thing on his mind now. If there were no good memories to find in the past, all that he would need to do was make more in the future. He thrust his body into the water, cleansing him of his resentment, washing away any semblance of sadness he had left. With new hope and determination, Tommy fled to the snow in search of the one man on even ground with the Green Menace, a man only known as the Blood God. But what if Tommy hadn't dropped safely? What if Tommy missed the lake and collapsed on solid ground? What if Tommy died in exile? Make sure to like the video and subscribe for free to see more content like this. It's the best way to support the channel and takes nothing but a click. With that said, my name is Omleg and this is What If? The trial was a failure. Tubbo and his butcher army failed to bring the pig to justice. But with each failure comes new hope. This time, they set their scope on Dream. Whatever happened next, it would be without the green bastard interfering. To plan for Operation Kill Dream, Tubbo remembered Dream's whereabouts. He'd also got to get a chance to visit Tommy, which excited him. After arriving at Logstedshire, Tubbo didn't hear the usual bickering of Tommy and Dream. He didn't hear Tommy pacing around and planning an escape. He didn't even hear Tommy flirting with his new pumpkin girlfriend or sending other women Snapchat streaks. All he heard was the wind blowing through the trees and the waves gently patting the sand. Despite being surrounded by living nature on all sides, the campsite never felt so dead. But that's because it was dead. The temporary beachside tents blown to smithereens. A crater where the campsite once stood. Logstedshire met the fate of L'Manberg far sooner than Tubbo could have imagined. The last remnant of life that remained was a Moe's burrito still wrapped in tinfoil atop a wooden stump, safe from the explosions. Anxious and worried, Tubbo rushed to what remained of Logstedshire. His eyes swept the landscape. Left, right, down, up. The explosions had kept his vision low, completely unaware of the dirt tower that stood above the crater. Slowly, his gaze moved downwards, the thought of fall damage ripe in his mind. The drop was surely greater than 20 blocks, 30 blocks, 40 blocks even. No one could survive that, with the exception of Filza, at least before the 16th, before his wings were torn, shielding Wilbur from the blast. What was left at the foot of the pillar shocked Tubbo to his core. A shapeless mass of red and white. Well, more red than anything else. The tuft of blonde hair was to confirm Tubbo's suspicions. We need to have a funeral. Depressed and distraught, Tubbo trudged back to L'Manberg. His legs never felt heavier. One by one, he spread the news and arranged a funeral for Tommy, the hero that saved the nation they now lived in, the one who sacrificed it all for L'Manberg, the one who was now brought to the L'Man tree to finally rest. The butcher army now had a new reason to hunt Dream. Quacity, with fierce rage, proposed assassinating Dream as quickly as possible. Fundy agreed. Ranboo did not attend, instead choosing to venture to the snow. for reasons unknown to the citizens of New L'Manberg. During the meeting, Tubbo didn't speak. After Quacity's proposal, Tubbo quietly stood up, staring at the ground, shook his head, and left. Quacity and Fundy shouted at him as he left, urging him to seek vengeance for Tommy as his best friend. Tubbo did not respond as he left the cave. At sundown, Ranboo returned to L'Manberg. Even if his ender chest was considerably emptier, he felt content with himself, having started the embers of a new relationship. Eager to share this information with Tubbo, he paced the spruce bridges, entering through each door, trying to look for him. He even checked the soon-to-be-torn-down White House, to no avail. Concluding that Tubbo was not in L'Manberg, Ranboo approached Tommy's old house. As he stepped towards it, he noticed a solitary figure on the bench by the cliff. Tubbo. He continued walking toward the bench, intending to join him and comfort him about the death of his best friend. 2 steps away from the bench, Tubbo gently turned his head towards him. "You wanted to be president, right? That country is yours now." Stunned, Ranboo couldn't get out the words to respond. Tubbo stood from the bench and walked towards the nether portal, an oak boat tucked beneath his arm. Ranboo silently followed. In the nether, Tubbo climbed upwards until he stood on the barren bedrock ceiling. He set the boat along the ice path, making sure it was perfectly straight. As he boarded the boat, Ranboo slowly approached him, halted by Tubbo's outstretched palm gesturing for him to stay back. Reluctantly, Ranboo turned his back to the ice path and headed back towards the portal, as he heard the boat creak along the ice. But he didn't return to L'Manberg. Joining L'Manberg was enough for him. He never truly wanted to be president. Instead, he fled back to the snow. By now, L'Manberg lacked any remaining members. The once prosperous nation was now reduced to a ghost town. The nation that started with Tommy was destined to die with Tommy. Sometimes, when members of the Dream SMP would traverse the spruce path, now decrepit and unkept, they'd see floating lanterns appear and disappear at random intervals, accompanied with a hollow voice whispering, "It was never meant to be." Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you're notified whenever new videos come out. If you have any ideas you want to see made into a video, make sure to leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.